Wait.
Kush's movie review.
Bonjour. Welcome to Kush's movie review. As always, if you are watching the standalone version on the YouTube version, make sure you hit subscribe, get the thumbs up, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the review and think about the movie. What are your thoughts? See if you've. There we go. Can you hear me? Oh, Jesus. My Zoom is like just keeps bouncing back, making my microphone all weird. Anyway, so yeah, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. This week's movie is Equalizer 3, a movie starring Denzel Washington, where he has to kill a bunch of motherfuckers, I'm guessing.
Ooh, boy. Have you never been more correct about a statement in your life?
Oh, nailed it.
he has to he has to kill so many people. It's
Boom.
kind of it's wild. We are talking about Equalizer 3. It is a hard R and the shortest of the trilogy at 1 hour and 49 minutes. I could not applaud director Antoine Fuqua harder than I am right now. This is also written by a gentleman with the unfortunate name of Richard Wenk. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but Richard Wenk. He's done the writing for all three of these movies as well. They seem to make a very good team. The Equalizer is based on a 1980s CBS drama about a former spy intelligence officer who's now retired and is only trying to do good in society now. And he's wealthy, and it's a different story every week. And it's nothing you hadn't seen at that point in just CBS history, let alone television history. However, in 2014, they decided to make this a TV adaptation. And at the time, it got compared to Taken, man who's beyond his time, special set of skills, etc., etc., etc. Body count is
Bad
incredibly
father.
high. He's not actually, to his credit, he's not a father in this. He was a husband, but he lost his wife due to some illness, and once upon a time took a vow to commit no more violence. And then he just saw some shit. It's like, someone's got to kick these motherfuckers' asses, and might as well be
vowed no more violence, and then his dead wife sent him a puppy, and then a Russian bastard killed the puppy, and he was like, "I'm back."
No puppies, but also a fair comparison to what this third movie is, and we'll get into that in a little bit here. This movie
is this similar to John Wicklesbury?
We'll get into that.
Okay.
This is starring Denzel Washington, Dakota Fanning, and then an Italian gentleman named Andrea Scarduzio. And he is quite intimidating and quite scary. This takes place in the Italian town of Altamonte, which has a population of just over 4,400 people. And quite frankly, so the first two Equalizers, they honestly felt like the movie adaptation of an old TV show starring Denzel Washington and directed by Fuqua. They're both very entertaining, but they're not anything to write home about. There's nothing that made me want to go like, dude, you gotta see Pedro Pascal in The Equalizer 2. People are gonna be talking about this guy in a couple of years. Like, they're both very entertaining. You leave the theater entertained. This one, I was beyond excited for. They ratcheted up the violence. Like, we start the opening scenes of this movie are we're seeing the aftermath of a horror movie. It's just carnage and chaos. There's some fires. There's been an explosion on the wall, but almost everybody is dead, and dead in the most horrific fashion that we get to see later. We don't, again, Denzel Washington's 70. We don't need to see this dude doing capoeira and jujitsu and rolling around on the floor with a bunch of Polish guys. All right.
Steven Seagal still trying to do karate. Like,
Steven Seagal should take a fucking cue out of the playbook for this movie. Okay. Like, this is a great opening. And for the first time, with a character that seems almost immortal, Nothing touches this man. Just he's like ice. Things just slide off of him. He never gets shot. Someone might get a lucky punch, but then that guy gets a fucking corkscrew to the brain. Like it's shit goes well. Well, our man Denzel Washington, he gets taken out by a 12-year-old boy. He's almost murdered in the first 10 minutes of this film just because some kid had a rifle.
Oh
Um,
dear.
he ends up in the town of Altamont, and he's nursed back to health. And he discovers this is a beautiful little community. This is a beautiful location. Like, thankfully, he likes a lot of seafood because that's about all they got. But again, like it's a very small town. It's just off the coast of Italy, and he's like, "This is where I want to live." Unfortunately, it also has a mafia problem, and that's when the movie finally starts. We spend a good half hour, 45 minutes, like just meeting all these characters, seeing just how kind and polite everybody is, just how generous everyone is, not only with their time but their hospitality. And then the mob just starts to do their collection one day, and these guys are just out of line. I mean,
They're dicks. They're always dicks.
what mafia guys aren't out of line? But like when these guys do it, it's like, dude, that's just you're just going over the top for no reason. Like the guy's fridge doesn't work. He wants to pay you his protection money, but the freezer, this man can't. This man doesn't have a freezer. He doesn't have a fish business. If he doesn't have a fish business, you don't get any more money. But you got to kick his ass anyways. This is beyond ridiculous. You know, um, they do a really good job with presenting the mafia as a threat. However, they are still not a threat to the Equalizer. A lot of this movie is still just him giving them second chances. Like, hey, I know you guys got a thing here. I know you're doing a business, but I really like this town. I really like the people in this town. So if you guys would just politely fuck off, do what you do somewhere else where I'm not, we can forget about all this, guy. And they're like, fuck you, Equalizer. I don't give a shit. Like, we're going to keep doing what we want to do. And the Equalizer embarrasses him
Equalizes them.
in front of everybody. He equalizes the situation very quickly. Super easy, barely an inconvenience to steal from another YouTube show. And they have that stereotypical scene after the stereotypical embarrassment scene where they're like, man, we're going to fuck that American up tomorrow. Who the fuck? Does he know who he is? Does he know who we are? This is Altamont, motherfucker. We take care of shit. It's only an hour later, and the Equalizer's like, oh, no, no, no. I'm not letting that happen. I'm gonna fuck you all up right now and murder you in the most violent, terrifying ways possible. And god damn it, that's when this movie just becomes delightful. So where it's violent, it is super violent. At points, this could have been a horror movie. Antoine Fuqua, always fantastic director with action. He knows how to set up a scene. He knows how to create characters. He knows how to create tension. Again, doing great things with the lighting here, where it's just like it's a lot of times it just feels like a pulp noir movie. Um, I'm on the edge of my seat the entire time. Again, big positive. This is the shortest of the three Equalizer movies, coming in at 1 hour 49 minutes, where there was like closer to 2.5 hours. And what this movie different from that is they dismissed a lot of the B scenes. Again, those first two movies are movie adaptations of a TV show. So you meet the Equalizer, you meet a couple of characters he interacts with, and while he's murdering fools over here or whatever, he ends up solving some of their problems by the end of the film. You're like, oh, that's nice. But that took up an extra 20 minutes of the movie.
When
This
he's
was just like, you
murdering
know what?
people, he's solving their problems. Like, so it's like stabbing someone in the neck with a pen. It's like, you need to talk to your mother more. Like, you need to get rid of those issues if you're gonna love.
I believe that's a direct scene. You think you're making fun of it, but I believe that's a direct scene from the first movie.
Like, I'm
Anyway,
equalizing your drama.
there you go. That's what's up. I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. Here's where I'm going to hurt a lot of people with my review. This is going to piss a lot of people off based on just some Facebook posts I made after I got out of the film. It's better than John Wick 4. It's so much better than John Wick 4. Again, John Wick 4 looked very beautiful. Definitely has top-notch action. but I was bored to shit after 15 minutes, and then we had another 3 hours to go.
How would you
Even when
say
there's no
something
action
so
going on,
controversial yet so brave?
I just very easy actually. Equalizer 3, even during the slow scenes where we're just learning characters, we're getting introduced to the environment. We're discovering Altamonte not just as a character, but as just the whole. I'm on the edge of my seat the entire time. I want to know more. When the movie ended, I wanted more Equalizer. Like, this is supposed to be the final chapter of the trilogy, but you know how that goes, man. There could be an Equalizer 4. Maybe Denzel's in it. Maybe someone else is in it. Queen Latifah, possibly. She's in a currently television series right now on CBS All Access, Paramount Plus. I don't know what it's called anymore. But they're also redoing a TV series right now with Queen Latifah, so maybe she gets her own movie after this. I don't know. But Equalizer 3, very hard R, 4 out of 5. One of my favorite movies of the summer.
Oh, that's a bold statement. Then Kush, he's seen
Dude,
a
this
lot of
movie
movies.
goes fucking hard with its fatalities, bro. Like, I'm telling you, like, again, like, the opening scene is like, we just see the aftermath of some shit, and you're like, oh my god, was that necessary? No. They do the stereotypical scene of the mafia is talking to this family, and the family is like, we cannot do this business deal. So sorry, we're so sorry, so sorry. Polite decline. And the guy's like, okay, no problem. And he quietly leaves. But then as he walks down, while this business deal is being declined, the Antoine Fuqua focuses in on an old man on a respirator, on an oxygen mask, in a wheelchair. They hang this motherfucker, but not before throwing him and his wheelchair out of the goddamn window. And you're just like, oh fucking Christ. Like, I don't get fazed by violence at all, but multiple times during this, I was like, God damn. Was that even necessary? What the fuck, dude? Like, they took those first 2 movies and like ratcheted violence all the way up. All the way up. Like, this is a entertaining film, better than John Wick 4. Told the same movie in half the time. Please go see it. No one will. It's
Equalizer 3, 4 out of 5.
E3.
That's what happened. That's what's up. Check it out.
That's all, folks.